Among the many custom maps that were released during the golden age of Black Ops 3 modding, few rival the attention to detail and polish of an in-house Treyarch experience. Map maker Zeroy took on that challenge and spent over 1,000 hours crafting a Wild West experience like no other. The map Wanted released in early 2019 and boasted many custom features. The one you'd probably notice first is the custom HUD. It's very similar to World War II's HUD with the same player portrait in a circle in a corner. The different power-ups in the map each have a unique on-screen element to show their duration. The special rounds are also quite interesting. They alternate between parasite-style enemies that have a vampire skin on them, or recolored witches from Buried, and yes, they still take away points from you. These features only scratch the surface of what this amazing map has to offer. Let's take a deeper dive into the gameplay features and the map itself. Just a reminder before we start, I have a playlist of all my custom map retrospectives on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description. And if you're seeing this video within the first 7 days of release, be sure to hype the video, it really helps out the channel a lot. Wanted's map layout is a strange one in my opinion. It feels extremely open compared to a typical tight and controlled experience. At its basic premise, it's a town's main street with a lava pit down the middle, its back alley, and a train station. You start off at the train station and only have to open one door to get to the main street, which is pretty much like the hub of the map. But don't worry, you'll be spending your points on opening doors to each building, and also the many shortcuts to reach the back alley. There's so many options to choose which way you go around the map. You can go through buildings, between buildings, around them, or even blow a hole in the wall in the jail cell to give yourself an extra option. The only real choke points in this map are inside the buildings, which you probably would avoid mid-round anyway. They typically contain buildable parts and perks. And the only real boundaries are the outer perimeter of the map. There's no corralling the player on a controlled path in order to get to power or any other point of interest. You can kinda go wherever you choose. The one exception is the door in the spawn all the way on the left. You have to go around and open up from the other side. Take a look at this top-down view of the map. I'm going to draw some lines on all these connecting paths that I'm talking about. This might make it easier to see what I mean. There's so many redundant pathways, but it makes the map feel really non-linear, which is a nice change of pace compared to some regular zombies maps. Wanted has a few traps scattered around the map that the player can purchase and use. The most unique one is the Gatling gun. They function just like the turret from Kino, but they look like old-fashioned Gatling guns. They're placed out in the open on each end of the main street, so they're quite effective. Also, by the saloon, you can find the chain trap from Shadows of Evil. It's in a pretty tight corridor, so you can get a bunch of zombies through here pretty easily. The digging feature from Origins also makes an appearance here. You can find shovels and dig spots scattered around the map. This feature is very similar to its predecessor. You could just dig up different guns, drops, grenades, zombies, and eventually you'll get the golden shovel after a bunch of digs. By the way, there's a unique animation for digging that looks pretty damn good. Something many players will miss is that when you're in Zombie Blood, you have a chance to find red dig spots that give you a perk slot, just like Origins. Speaking of perks, all the typical Black Ops 3 perks are on the map, and most of their locations swap every game, making each playthrough feel pretty different. A Gobblegum is also available on the map, but only after round 12. The gums are found inside of the grocery store, and you have to refill the machine, but after that you can spin like normal from your pack. I really like how the Gobblegums are locked off until later in the game. Personally, I would have made it till around 20 or something, but you can get pretty overpowered in this map regardless, so it probably doesn't make much of a difference in the long run. The arsenal of weapons available is a collection of era-appropriate weapons, so they may not be the most robust. It's a lot of old-timey weapons like old revolvers, lever-action rifles, pump-action shotguns, which I see a lot of people complaining about in the comments, but I love a map with unique weapons. I'd be so disappointed if Zeroy threw in the BO3 guns in here. A lot of the weapons available have their own unique inspect animations too, which is a really nice touch. Wanted also has a few melee weapons that you could play around with if that's your playstyle. There's also a bunch of different wonder weapons you can get your hands on, including the homunculus. Last but not least, you could build the antler shield, which resembles the Gorod Krovi bone shield, but it has a set of antlers on it, which is pretty cool. Now I just mentioned there's a bunch of different wonder weapons you could get, and that's what the side quests on Wanted are for. Wanted boasts quite a few of these side quests, and they're mainly for obtaining or upgrading some of the wonder weapons in the map. We'll start with the most basic ones. The Wonder Waff can be obtained by putting the numbers 935 into this Pack-a-Punch code. Also, the Thunder Gun is dropped by the mad scientist that comes out of the room when you open Pack-a-Punch. We'll talk about the Pack-a-Punch process later, so this will all make sense in a little bit. Unsurprisingly, the Blundergat is here along with both of its upgrades. After getting the base weapon from the box, you can build the Acid Gat just like Mob of the Dead. All you have to do is find the parts and build the kit, simple as that. And like Blood of the Dead, the magma gat is a little bit more involved. You have to knife a few stoves, and then place the blunter gat into a fireplace and wait till it's done cooking. Both of the variants are pretty good. There's nothing new about them, although the animations, and I guess like maybe the scripting of it, seems a little off. It's like they were custom made for this map, which apparently they were, which is really impressive. Next, we have the Great Scott Wonder Weapon. All you have to do is throw the Molotov cocktails that you can buy around the map at certain locations. Afterwards, it spawns in the Pack-a-Punch barn. It's kind of like an old-fashioned scavenger. It's a pretty decent weapon. When you Pack-a-Punch it, it instantly explodes, making it a super fun weapon to use. And then the last of the Wonder Weapon side quests is for the Zeroy's Annihilator, which is a remake of Alistair's Annihilator from Dead of the Night. The quest is pretty simple. All you have to do is shoot 5 clocks with a Pack-a-Punch weapon, and the case and spawn will open. Doing the side quest will also open some barn doors, allowing you to buy Electric Cherry. So this is a 2-in-1 quest here. You can get the Savage Impaler by getting a bunch of kills with the Bowie knife. All these Wonder Weapon options really give the map a huge sense of replayability. You can choose literally any one of these weapons and be set for the whole game. That being said, getting set for the whole game off of a really simple side quest on an already pretty easy map leads to you being able to survive for a really long time with minimal challenge, so these quests might not be everybody's cup of tea. That's enough about the gameplay and side content on this map. Now it's time to dive into the main quest and story. The story on Wanted is pretty straightforward. It's described by the map maker as follows. In a totally wonky and parallel universe, Edward Richtofen, Nikolai Blinsky, Nero Blackstone, and Scarlet Rhodes found themselves in a ghost town somewhere in Arizona where they are quote-unquote wanted by just about everything that moves. I think it's actually pretty funny how you can see all the characters in different wanted posters plastered around the map. Now, nothing in here is meant to be canon, it's all just for fun. The Wanted main quest starts just like any other with you turning on the power and opening Pack-a-Punch. The power is a simple valve from World War II zombies that is found surprisingly close to spawn. I would think it'd be blocked behind one of those one-way doors so you're forced to go around the whole map, but it's just one door away. Pack-a-Punch is a little bit more involved. You have to locate 2 skulls somewhere on the map and place them on these pikes in the graveyard. Upon doing that, ghosts will fly out of the casket, and a werewolf from Dead of the Night will spawn in. Depending on how early you do this, it can be a bit of a bullet sponge, but it's not hard to take down. It drops a key when it dies, and you have to bring it to the barn to unlock this panel. From here, you have to locate 3 numbers around the map and input them to open up the barn. Or you could put in 935 the other one off, like I said before. As the door opens, you start to hear some strange noises, and a scientist named Dr. Emmett Brown pops out of a green portal, saying something like 41 gigawatts. I'm be honest, I can't even tell what he's saying. Alright, let me pause here for a second. While editing this video, I went back and found the clip. He actually says 1.21 gigawatts. Take a look.
But I need a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. 1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts! What the hell is a gigawatt?
I know it's meant to be the guy from Back to the Future. He runs around the map frantically, and if you're able to kill him before he teleports away, he'll drop you that free thunder gun. What lies in the barn gives me a lot of questions. There's the DeLorean from Back to the Future just sitting there, so there's that. And as for the Pack-a-Punch machine, I think it's the most unique Pack-a-Punch design I've ever seen, and I absolutely love it. It's like a steampunk design, and the gun goes in vertically. It has a bunch of power switches and bulbs connected to it, showing how much power this thing must take. I think the Pack-a-Punch quest is a little too difficult to complete without a guide. I mean, it's not hard, it's just the skulls and the numbers are completely random on the map, and you'd probably spend a lot of time trying to locate them if you didn't look it up in a guide. I prefer an easy or an intuitive Pack-a-Punch quest, and save the harder stuff for the main quest. To continue on with the main quest, you have to progress to round 12, where a witch round will happen. These are recolored buried witches, and they only take 200 points per hit this time. After the round is over, the last one will drop a key to the church. Once inside, there's a portal that you can take to a Native American encampment, where you can pick up this map's specialist, the combat bow, and also the Hell's Retriever. This place is very interesting visually. It looks like you're in some sort of a dream because there's a lot of fog, and it's a little bit blurry, and there's a constant drum beat. Take a quick listen.
Why is it that a gun from a wall makes my brain hurt more than walking dead people?
There's nothing else to be done here for now except take in the cool visuals until you're teleported back into the map. Once you're back in the map, there's 2 totems that have appeared outside the playable area. You need to shoot them with the bow. Once shot, they spawn in a totem from Raven the Redwoods that appears inside the playable area, and you have to fill it with a lot of souls. After that, it's back to the church portal to go to the Native American encampment where zombies will start to swarm you, and you must do one last soul box. Once you're done with that, it's time for the boss fight. Now this main quest was extremely short, it's really just 3 soul boxes. I do wish there was more to it, but at least the set pieces around the soul boxes are pretty neat and keep it somewhat interesting. They give you the Hell's Retriever, but it really doesn't do much. Maybe a collecting step like the skulls on Mob of the Dead would have been cool. Also, one thing I never like in maps Easter eggs is being locked behind certain rounds. Now round 12 witches isn't so bad because it does take a while to open up the map due to the sheer amount of doors, so you don't really feel it that much, but I digress. Back to the main quest, you can start the boss fight in the graveyard. Pause here for a second and leave your guess as to who this final boss is in the comments below. You'll never guess it. It's our boy Arthur Leroy from Buried with the snazzy cowboy hat. Look how cool this guy looks, man. Now there's no interesting boss mechanics here. Leroy is really just a giant bullet sponge that spawns in some spectral dogs. It is nice that he has a health bar though, because this guy is a serious bullet sponge, especially in 4-player. I find that some of the wonder weapons really don't do a whole lot of damage to him, so it's probably best to use a normal weapon here. This boss fight isn't too hard if you know how to train well. Leroy stays on you constantly though and won't let you have a break. If you slow down, he'll start beating the hell out of you, and he does a decent amount of damage. After you deplete his health bar, he'll fade to dust and drop a vial of plutonium. You can put this into the DeLorean and escape the map whenever you want after this. A short cutscene plays where you drive the DeLorean and teleport back to the future, I guess. I don't know, I didn't watch the movie, sorry. So that wraps up for Wanted. I really enjoyed this map from a gameplay perspective. It's a very easy map to get going in, and you could find yourself set up very fast with all the runner weapons, and the map itself is easy to navigate and train around. I did think the Easter egg was a little bit lacking in substance, as I felt it was way too short, but the boss fight was really fun. The aesthetics of this map are top notch. Every inch of this map is overflowing with details, from the barn animals in the distance to the trinkets in every building. It really feels like this map was made with love. I highly suggest just going, walking around, and checking out every corner of this map. It's no surprise that this map is the 7th most subscribed custom map on the Steam Workshop. Zeroy really knocked it out of the park with this one, and I'm looking forward to any future projects from them. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this style of video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more zombie retrospectives. I'll see you in the next one.